All right, let's jump right into a really gripping spy story. This one takes place in the very first days of World War I, and it's called The Girl from Alsace.
So where does this story come from? Well, it's actually based on a novel from that time, which was first called Little Comrade. And you can feel it, you know? It's a story that's just steeped in the anxiety and chaos of a world about to tear itself apart. We're talking espionage, romance, and some serious danger.
Just listen to this line. There is very bad news, my friend. There is going to be war. Imagine hearing that, spoken almost in a whisper, on a hotel terrace in Germany. That's it. That's the moment the world just cracks open. The storm has arrived.
So what's this all about? At its core, it's a story about two people who are just thrown together by history. You've got an American surgeon, a tourist, who is in the worst possible place at the worst possible time. And then there's this woman, a spy, who he risks literally everything to save.
Okay, so let's set the scene. A war is about to begin.
So we're in Cologne, Germany. It's July 31st, 1914. Our main guy, Dr. Bradford Stewart, he's an American surgeon. He's just finishing up a European tour, seeing the sights after a surgical conference. What he doesn't know is that Germany is secretly getting ready for a massive war. He is blissfully unaware that he's standing on a powder keg and someone has just lit the fuse.
And when Germany declares a state of war, it's not just some headline. For a foreigner like Stewart, it means the entire country becomes a prison overnight. Think about it. All civil authority is gone. The military is now in charge of everything. They seize the railroads for troop movement, they take over the telegraphs, nobody can get in or out of the country. And if you're a stranger, well, you're now a potential suspect, a spy.
So he's trapped. He's trying to figure out how to get home. And that's when his journey gets completely derailed by an impossible request.
He makes it to this hotel in Aix-la-Chapelle. He is so close to freedom. We're talking just a few miles from the Belgian border. But then, right there in the hotel hallway, a woman corners him. And you can just see the sheer desperation in her face. And get this, she's holding his American passport.
And her request is it's as simple as it is absolutely bonkers. She says to him, "If you will permit me to write, accompanied by his wife, I am saved." She wants him to forge his own passport, add her as his wife so they can escape together. This is a massive risk. I mean, they could both be arrested on the spot, or frankly, much worse.
So, let me ask you, what would you do in that situation? Seriously, a stranger's life literally depends on your passport. 1 minute, you're a tourist. The next, you're being asked to become a co-conspirator, basically. Your passport goes from being a simple travel document to the one thing that stands between this woman and death.
And it turns out, she's not just some random person. She is an Alsatian spy. She's from Alsace-Lorraine, this contested region. And to her, being Alsatian under German rule is like being a slave. And the reason she's so desperate? She's carrying vital intelligence about German fortresses that she has to get to the French High Command.
So, against all logic, he agrees. And just like that, they begin this absolutely frantic escape from Germany.
And their journey is just this non-stop nightmare. For 5 days, they're posing as husband and wife, trying to act normal on these crowded, tense trains. They get detained, they get interrogated by suspicious German officers. They eventually make this desperate escape on foot across the frontier in the middle of the night. But even then, they're not safe. They're fleeing through the Belgian countryside just as the German army is pouring in. And then, during a violent skirmish, they're separated.
And you have to understand the pressure they were under. During that interrogation, a German officer looks right at her and says, "The spy we are looking for is a woman, young and beautiful like yourself." I mean, chills, right? They know who they're looking for. The net is closing in fast. But her reply is just ice cool. She doesn't even flinch. She says, "My grandmother was French, and I am said to resemble her." It's brilliant. She uses his own suspicion against him, giving him this perfectly plausible reason for her appearance. Just an absolute masterclass in staying calm under pressure.
But just when they think they might be in the clear, the officer drops a bombshell. He tells them the man to be stationed here will arrive from Strasbourg in an hour. No woman will be permitted to pass until he has seen her. Strasbourg is her hometown. This guy will know her on sight. The clock is ticking. They have less than an hour to get out of there or it is all over.
So they have no choice but to make a run for it. But in the chaos that follows, something terrible happens, and Stewart has to keep a promise all on his own.
In the middle of a battle, they get separated.
It's violent, it's chaotic, and Stewart is convinced that his little comrade, as he calls her, is dead. He's absolutely heartbroken, but now he has a new purpose. He has to fulfill her dying wish. He has to get that intelligence to the French.
So, how does he do it? She had given him what looked like two perfectly normal letters, but she also gave him instructions, and it's like something out of a classic spy movie. First, he applies 3 drops of a blue liquid. Then, he gently heats the paper over a candle. And finally, he puts the sheets in a dish of water. And just like that, the invisible ink appears, revealing Germany's entire war plan.
And using her secret passwords, Stewart, remember, he's just an American surgeon, a civilian, he somehow manages to get a meeting with the commander-in-chief of the entire French army, General Joffre. And he delivers the intelligence right to him.
So his duty is done, but he's heartbroken. He feels like there's nothing left for him back home, so he volunteers. He joins the French Medical Corps as a surgeon, just throwing himself into the war to try and forget.
And it's there, right in the middle of all the chaos and the horror of the front lines, that the story takes one last incredible turn. Picture this. He is assigned to a makeshift hospital in a Belgian convent. He's just tending to this endless stream of wounded soldiers, day in and day out. And then, among all the noise and the pain, he hears a voice he recognizes. Little Comrade. It's her. She's wounded, but she's alive. Can you even imagine? In the very heart of the war that threw them together and then ripped them apart, they find each other again. It's just an amazing end to their story, a powerful reminder of how a chance encounter in a hotel hallway ended up changing both of their lives forever.